We are live. The Hangout is live. All right. Camera on the laptop is still upside down, but hey, we are going to jump right in. I'm excited to have you. This is week 3, and I found my notebook, which there was a couple things that I missed off, so I'm going to go ahead and fill that in with our week 2 of, we are on week 3, but we are going to fill in with a few things that I missed from the last, and then add in. Can I just show you this beautiful gift? Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Look at this. Cheryl brought this. This is like one of my absolute favorite sayings. Isn't that so cute? Yay! And I will work for food. She brought me cookies too. I mean, come on. Like, this is like my love language. One of my love languages right here is gifts and food. All right. Thank you, Cheryl. Yeah. It's so fun to work with all sorts of our consultants because we all have different talents. And some of us are really good at certain things. And some of us, we just strengthen each other, right, with our gifts. So let's jump in. First, I did want to mention to you on our unit app, Julie's my unit app, and then you go into it, Julie's Wild Dreamers, and then MK. Under New Consultant, you'll see this Boss Girl checklist, okay? You've probably heard of it or seen it, but if I didn't mention it, this is a really good list to go off of that you can check off, and don't feel like you have to do it all at one time, but these will be things that if you'll put it in your binder as you go through, you'll be able to check them off. And some of the things that I would say are in order of importance, they might be down further, so just be aware that having this, if you are liking to have a checklist of things, then you're not feeling like, where do I find that again? And Voxer, let's talk about ways to communicate with me. If I didn't get a chance to do this already with you, there's 3 main ways that we want to make sure you get tapped into for communication. The first is Voxer. Voxer is a free app, and you just go into your app store. Most smartphones have it. If you don't, then you might need to remind me a couple times that you don't have Voxer, because it's one of the main ways that we use to communicate, and at some point you may want to get it. So if you have an iPhone, it's going to look like that. So it's got like this little walkie-talkie smiley face thing, and that's what it looks like, Voxer, okay? It's called Voxer, and when you tap into it, or when you get Voxer, you'll want to find me, and you'll want to add me as one of your friends. And so you could say chat or contacts, and then you're going to find me. So my Voxer name is J Holmb, so it's HOLMB 408. You will see a picture of me, and the picture of me, you can see that, looks like that, okay? So you'll find me, and then send me a message. Say, hey, this is so-and-so. I have Voxer. So why you want to say your name is if you don't have a picture of yourself yet and you don't have it named under your profile, you'll want to go into your profile. Your profile will look like that. So you'll want to make sure you have it. And then you can share your profile. But again, send me a message. Practice recording it. You can go into settings and make it to where it's not bleep, 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 bleep all the time, which is your notifications. However, until you're in the habit of checking your Voxer, I would go ahead and keep the notifications on, and then go in there and save it in your phone to check it at least once a day, because I'm going to start sending out some really great Voxers, and that's going to be one of the ways, the tools that we use for training, but also to keep you in the loop so you know what's going on. We will add you to a couple automatic Voxers. There'll be one for Julie's Wild Dreamers, and then we have groups for our local meetings. If you're attending one of our local meetings, we'll make sure you plug into that so that when we have little flyers that are invites, you can save them. Also, when there's reminders or last-minute announcements, I do like to use Voxer at different times, but the main thing is that it gives us communication, that you can listen to recordings that I send. I can record one and send it out to everyone that I have in those selected groups, which makes it really great and easy. Also, you can send me a Voxer anytime, anywhere. 24/7, you can send me a Voxer. Now, what's great about that is if you have a specific concern or question or something that needs to be addressed with me, and there's never a dumb question, but let's say you need something answered right away, the best way is either to text me or to post a message on our unit Facebook page, because then a sister consultant can help you answer that urgent question. But if it's, hey, Julie, I wanted to give you an update on my party, and this is what went well, and this is what happened, or, I'm really frustrated about this, and what do you do in this situation? Then I'll have a chance to listen to it, and then I have a chance to leave you a personalized message that you can play back. You can save it or delete it afterwards. You never have to apologize for a long box, because I'm not going to apologize when I leave you a long box. Okay, it's just one of the ways that we can communicate, and it's a voice to voice, which I think is way more personal than just trying to send you a text or trying to leave you a voice message if maybe you're not in the habit of checking your voice messages. So just know that you can leave me voice messages on my phone, okay, my regular phone. My direct number is 425-330-8098. You will also get another text message that my business line uses, and that's it's my service that my assistant helps me with. That's not actually necessarily the best one to message me something that you want quick response with, because it does come to my phone, but it comes in a different format, and that's my direct business line that is that I get help with. So it is me responding most of the time, but if you want the fastest direct, you want the 425 number. But go ahead and save the other number as Julie's business line. Save the 425 as Julie's ASAP, direct line. Okay, so I hope that makes sense, because I don't want girls to get confused about the two numbers, because I do have a lot of girls that text me on that other one, and I don't check that one as quickly. Okay, so okay, the other one is our unit Facebook page, and if you haven't been added, friend me on Facebook, and then I do get help to try to get girls added to that as fast as possible. I do only add those that are in my unit, directly in my unit, or an adopted consultant who is attending my unit meetings regularly, or their directors. Sometimes my area directors and some of their directors will join so that they can kind of see what's going on. But I will not be adding customers or potential team members until they are officially part of our unit, because it would just be way too awkward for them to see all the trainings, and it might be too much. It's just something that's exclusive, okay? So just know. Also, in terms of posting on our unit Facebook page, I want you to share your wins and your successes. And when you have a party, take a selfie with your group and post your picture. When your starter kit comes, get excited to take a picture with your starter kit, or with those that are supporting you. Your new team members, take pictures. When you go to an event and you bring guests, take a picture with your guests, because that visual will help us all connect better. Don't you agree? If there's a great event coming up into the area, or you hear about some great idea, I would like all of those to go through me first before you post it, because we can get really inundated with lots of things. And if it comes from sister consultants that say, hey, buy this, or hey, here's a really cool little selling idea, or whatever, I would really like to just monitor that a little bit more, so that we don't overload and confuse our brand new consultants, that we need to get them to the basics. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. But definitely we want you to be posting your wins, and when you have awesome parties with great sales, we want to give you shout outs. Of course, you're posting about your grand days and how you're doing on the contests. But that is going to be amazing. So we love our unit Facebook page, which is Julie's Wild Dreamers. That's the name of our unit Facebook. It's a private group. So we'll make sure you get added to that. If you haven't, again, let me know, so I can then make sure my assistant adds that. Okay, and then, so we've got Voxer, we got unit Facebook page, and then the last one is through, and you've got my phone numbers, okay, but also our unit app. the unit app and our website. The website is a direct link from our unit app, but you'll see it in kind of a little bit bigger, and it'll have like flyers and things like that, more flyers. We're going to be getting up to date on that. But anyway, so my unit app, username is Wild Dreamers, all one word, all lowercase, and the password is MK, lowercase. So that's where we're going to be posting trainings, handouts. You'll find the Girl Boss checklist. You'll also find out handouts from all of our boot camp under New Consultant. You'll find out where there's tons of information there for team building and sharing videos that are already in there. You'll also watch motivational videos, and I suggest going under the resources and also in the team building and watching all those videos, because they're very, very great training and great motivation. You'll also see our monthly calendar will be up on there, and our newsletter. I'm really working to conserve on paper and not mailing as much stuff. So I really, really love for you to know that we're going to be sending out an email that will have an attachment of our newsletter. The newsletter gets done every month, and it's usually around this time that we're wrapping up the newsletter, or closer to the 15th. But my goal will be that I get a calendar out first, and the calendar, she had to do one more tweak on it, and you'll see that in our Facebook page, but we'll also be putting it in the app so you can pull it up, the monthly calendar. And then that's the main thing there. Okay, so now that we're all on the same page with communicating, I want to show you a couple other things. Okay, so with week 2, we were talking about our bootcamp session 2, hostess packets. There in your new starter kit, there will be a hostess brochure, and that goes in the hostess packet. There are postcards to hand out that you can get. You can also, we have the 200 for free when you party with me. Depending on what your hostess program is going to be that you're excited about, you'll put that in there. A lookbook, a business card, and a sales ticket or an outside sales ticket. I thought I had one of them here to show you, but I didn't find one. So I will put that in like a little, you can put it in a Mary Kay plastic bag. You can put it in a manila envelope, like just go purchase an envelope and slide in for your party packets, and you can just call it a party packet or a hostess packet. And they have, mygirlfriendshouse.com has some really cute hostess packets that come with an envelope or a folder. I'd probably just do the envelope because it's less expensive. And they come with an outside order form that's really cute. And I actually had went ahead and splurged and bought some of those. And I've been using them. However, again, you can create your own until you put that together. So if you go to My Girlfriend's House, no, I'm sorry. Why did I say My Girlfriend's House? Because it was here. It's called Pink Printing, pinkprinting.com. Pink Printing had some really cute hostess packets, but don't buy all of them and don't be overwhelmed. If you have questions as to which ones, we're happy to share that. But they actually have it all cute and pre-printed, and that makes it pretty simple. My Girlfriend's House is where we get cello bags, and the cello bags is what we buy a couple small sizes, and then we also get some of the bigger ones. In fact, I did see one of those in, would you grab one for me, Cheryl? In there, there's this little accordion zebra. If you just want to grab that whole thing and bring it in, I'll show it to them. And those cello bags can hold and create your little hostess packets. Okay, the other thing, we did talk about pre-profiling. We talked about packing for your class. And we also talked, thank you so much. I think here it is.
What was that first thing you said that came with the starter kit?
Starter kit. Oh, in the starter kit, there should be a brochure. If it's not in the new one, because sometimes it gets edited, then it will be soon available on section 2 to order. And I think it's just called a hostess program or hostess brochure.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a worksheet that the customer and you, whoever you book a party with, can agree what your program is. It'll have a couple of the key ones, and you can just circle or star the ones that they're excited about if you're not doing the 200 for free or the 100 for free. I think they have the 75 for 35 always as an option, and then the percentage of the sales based on how many there are. And they can write the date of the party. It even has a little script suggestion of how to invite their guests, and then a place that they can make a list. So it's really cute. Okay, so these are the cello bags, and I'm just keeping the paper in there so you can see it. But these have a little sticky on the top, and this makes it really easy to put a catalog, a business card, until you have there. You just put a sales couple of these in there and a lookbook, and she can collect orders with those that can't come. So that's one of the things that you can put in your hostess packet. Okay. Then we had an amazing booking blitz here, and every Monday is a goal for me, aside from our holiday on Monday, is that we'll be doing as a group as well as here at the studio. If you want to Zoom in and participate in that, Zoom is another great communication. It's a free app, and you get your first 45 minutes every broadcast for free. And so I just do the free one. Zoom is where you can do it on any smartphone, or you can do it on a laptop that has a camera, okay? And what I love about Zoom, aside from it being free, is it looks kind of like FaceTime. It's this little blue box. So when you click it, it takes you right in to asking you to join a meeting or start or schedule a meeting. So I always have a phone number link that ties into the same one all the time. And so let me go ahead and tell you what that code is. The number, okay, it's a number. And it's 679-197-3519. So if you want to just save that number, okay, in your phone as the Zoom code, anytime I'm doing a meeting, that's the number that we log into. And it'll just say, which number do you want to be added into, which group? And then boom, you'll be added right into it. So there's no hassle. If you log into that and I'm not there, it just says waiting for hostess or waiting for host. You're not charged. There's nothing you have to be worried about if you log in. If we are doing a Zoom video for a career chat, I absolutely love it because we can all see each other, all 3 or 4 of us, as long as they have a video on their phone or a video camera on their laptop. You can Zoom anytime, anywhere. You can use mine, and I'm not even on it because I think I have it where you can join in. So say you needed to use that number, it doesn't cost me anything. After 45 minutes, you get shut off because it only gives you 45 minutes free, but then you can get off and get right back on. So don't feel weird about getting set up with your own if you want to have your own code, because this is a way where face-to-face and video conferencing, that's the future. I mean, we're in it right now. So I think it's so much more personal, especially when you're working with people that you're communicating that eye to eye, and for them to see you and to hear your heart is way more personalized. And I just love it. Also, you can, if you're also wondering what are some other free things if you can't get the Zoom video or you don't want to do that, FaceTime is available. Skype oftentimes is available. I have found that I really like the new Facebook Messenger. And when you go into Messenger, as long as you've gone into each other's Messenger and you're both accepted and you're both friends, you can video chat someone. So you select someone, and then in there at the very top, let's say I wanted to video chat with Jody Solberg, there's a little picture of a camera right there. So if I wanted to call her right now, I could push that video chat, and if she was expecting it, she could answer it. Okay, so you just click that, see the little video right there?
Uh-huh.
It's so easy. For my girls that are in Puerto Rico and out of country and such, they like the WhatsApp. WhatsApp is another free app, and it's international, but it doesn't cost you international fees. Now, sometimes the reception is a little glitchy, but it still works. So, okay, I just wanted to give that some of my most popular and favorite apps that help in our communication and can help you in your business too. Okay, so a couple things to think about when you're going to need to prepare for your party that I may have missed on the other one. Headbands or some kind of pullback, like either bobby pins. You got to sanitize them if you do that, but the headbands are good. The ones that are really tight can be a bit of a nuisance because it changes their hair, kind of really tightens it down. But you can get the cloth ones are pretty inexpensive at like different places. We used to do colored ones, purple for the combo to oily and pink for the normal to dry. So you could look around the table and see who's my normal to dry girls and who's my combo to oily. So I've heard that. I used to do that years back. Cotton rounds, the real tight ones are the ones you want. You don't want them fluffy because that can get in their eyes if they're doing, we usually use that for eye makeup remover. I take the disposable cloths that come in the starter kit, and yes, you could use them for washcloths. But I would suggest buying full-size washcloths, and I would suggest getting like a dark gray, a hot pink, or some kind of a darker kind of color, because I have used white at times, but from having to bleach them and such, they start breaking down. And I find that the darker colors just seem to do fine with the mascaras and the waterproof things that you're going to be possibly getting on there. Also the charcoal masks. I haven't seen any staining with my hot pink ones. So, but you do have to, if you're getting a bright color, you want to make sure you wash them very good, and you want to do that on like hot water, right? And you soak them in like vinegar and stuff. There's some things to make sure that the colors stay bleed and turn their face hot pink. So washcloths, cotton rounds, Q-tips can be good to get for the occasional if they mess up on something, or I've even used it for the little bit of eye makeup remover to touch up, but it's not necessary. Q-tips, I've used that for sampling makeup, like eyeshadows and lip gloss or lipstick, but you want it to be, again, really tight. You don't want it to be a soft cotton puffy, because you don't want that coming off into their eyes or their lips. Okay. So I was going to say those disposable ones, I cut them into smaller squares, and I use that for the sad lips. That's what I use. You could also just tear them. I just find that looks really good, and cotton rounds can be kind of expensive, and so those little cloths you can get at least 12 out of those, if not more, for your satin lips disposing. Just suggestions. Okay. There is a checklist already, and I realized that, but I thought I would just add that to there. Okay, let's talk about also preparing for the party. So one of the things is that this little diagram is a tray insert. Now, would you grab me one of my trays? Thank you. Oh my gosh, I love her. I just realized I didn't grab one. The tray insert is going to help you keep in track of knowing which product is where. You can make this on Mary Kay In Touch, and you can go into, I don't know if it's under business tools, which I think it is, and then it might say something like a mere facial tray insert, okay? These are the ones that I've bought on Pink Printing, and I believe we have a picture of this in our bootcamp training under my unit app, okay, under New Consultant. But why I went with this one is it's a nice laminate. You're going to then put the plastic over the top of this, and you can see it much better. These, I think you get a packet of, I'm going to say 12, but it might only be 6. But usually it's $6. So I think they're 12 for $6. And 12 should be plenty for you when you're first getting started. When you come to the studio or one of the events, we might have extras of these, but again, you can make up your own. What I do suggest is you do it in the order that we're going to teach the class. So this is why I like the one that they show here is they do show lip gloss in the top corner. This one doesn't tell you either of them, but when you're at any of my parties, it's always satin lips, but don't have to write it in there. You know, they don't have, you can create your own. When we're doing the charcoal mask, we're putting it down underneath the cleanser because we just do the cleanser, then we come down here with the charcoal mask, and then we come back up here with the day solution, the age fighting moisturizer, the foundation primer, and the foundation. So yes, there's a lot of ways to do it, but I'm going to teach you the way that I do it. And when you're at all my events, we're going to use this tray insert, and this keeps it all streamlined and simplified. And then if you ever want to have other ways, you know, you're your own boss, so you can do it, but I'm going to teach on that way. All right. The other thing about your guests is at all of our events, you're going to be providing the facial, the skincare profile, which I don't have one in here. Geez, I should have just brought a whole setup. You just bring the whole setup, like the little thing on the bottom, as well as, do I have profiles in there laid out? I should have, or off to the side by the samples. I might even have some right here, because I had it set up. I got one here too. There's an old one. Okay. I just want to be able to show. Beautiful, that's what I want. Beautiful, thank you. Okay, so when you're having a party, this is what it will look like with the tray, okay? Kind of cool. Then the tray, you've just got new ones, and they're, I think I took them in there, okay? They're the little, don't worry about it. It's the set sheet, okay? So they do have these on peak printing, but now that the new ones have come out, I would just use the new ones. Then the company has these cute little, for you to put the names of the person with a little dry eraser. Okay, so you're going to have these cute little name tags out. How awesome. They're going to feel like princesses. They just walked in, they got their little name tag right there.
And that's in the new kit.
And that's in the new starter kit. Yep, everyone's going to be watching that. These are really inexpensive. Super awesome. Then what's really cool is on the back of this little card, it actually has the instructions on how to do a satin hands. So you're going to just read it. The White Tea and Citrus Satin Hands Pampering Set. Directions for use. Number 1, protect and prepare. So you're going to massage the fragrance-free Satin Hands Protecting Softener into the hands prior to using the Refining Shea Scrub. I always share a couple of the key ingredients, which you can read on the back of the bottle. But shea butter, you'll see in there when you read along it, you'll see that there's beeswax and there's also paraffin. So those are the 3 key ingredients that I share when I'm doing the hand softener. Then I'll say, now we're going to add the refine and polish. Apply the White Tea and Citrus Satin Hands Satin Smoothie Refining Shea Scrub, gently massaging into the hands before rinsing away. So I tell them that it has little exfoliating scrubs that are safe on the environment. They are biodegradable. And then we want it to be rinsed off with warm or hot water. And that's because that extra shea and paraffin and beeswax needs to be melted off. And this has a cleanser in it, so we don't need to add any additional soap. So then we go, we rinse it off, and then I tell them that the last step is to nourish and soothe the hands. You'll pamper with massaging in the creamy comfort of White Tea and Citrus Satin Hands Nourishing Shea Cream. That's step number 3, but I tell them we do this at the end after we've touched our faces and washed it with that, because we don't want the lotion to get into our skin or on our face. So I just tell them to remind me at the end of the party, and then you can put this instructional with the hand lotions next to it so you don't forget, okay? When I do the set close, that always reminds me when I'm talking about satin hands. Oh, now we get to do the hand lotion and we pass it around. Okay, so I hope this is that you're understanding that when you get these little note cards, don't throw that back one out because it's the instructions. And it actually is in Spanish on one side and English on the other. So pretty cool. All right. Then to prepare you for your party, these are what the new profiles look like. So you're going to put one of these at every place setting. And I put it right below the tray because you don't need the tray scooted straight up. That's just my own preference. Right here, the mirror like that, and then they're filling that. Don't worry about it. They're filling it out. Okay, I always bring extras. And you want them to fill that out while you're finishing things so that they get that started. This will also help in aiding in what you're putting in their trays. Okay, you really just need to know that they consider their skin more normal to dry or common to oily. And then when you meet at the end of the party and you ask them to bring this, they're handing this to you and you're going to have a chance to see what are some other suggestions. Now, when you open this, it's a carbon copy, and you read what's over here. This is the suggested product. So when they say, one of the questions statement says, other skincare concerns. I need to improve my skin texture. It doesn't say I need, it just says circle which ones apply. Maybe she needs extra hydration, or she has large looking pores, or she's got deep wrinkles and expression lines. Let's just take the deep wrinkles and expression lines, and you're looking at her profile at the individual close. You say, well, can I take a look at your profile? And she hands it to you. You open it up and you say, the first thing you say is, did you have a good time? I had so much fun with you tonight. What did you enjoy the most? Okay, and she's sharing that. And then I'm asking, great, what would you like to take home with you tonight? Or if you are doing some of the questions, the closing questions that I'm asking is, in your wildest dreams, what would you want to take home with you tonight of the sets that you experienced? The whole roll-up bag? Would you get a miracle set? Would you get the satin set with the miracle? Like, I'm giving them that. And you're kind of giving them permission to dream. And then you're saying, of your dream list there, which would be the things you'd want to take home. There's also on the back, number 7, is there's a place for them to make their wish list and what would they like to take home. So I'm looking at that. If they don't have anything on there, I'm not going to assume that they're not going to take anything. I'm going to still ask them, of the scents that you tried, what would you like to take home? And if she goes, I just really would love to, but I can't afford it. I'll say, if you could afford it, what would you take home? Okay, let's just start a wish list. She goes, well, I would take all of it. Okay, if you were to start with just 2 sets or 3 sets, what would it be? Hopefully she says the miracle set. If she doesn't, I'm going to suggest that because we really want to focus on skincare because that's where she's going to get the most beneficial long-term results. So let's say she says the miracle set and the satin set, and she wants the finishing or like the foundation set. Say, okay, great. So you start writing that up. Then you open this up and you're like, now I see here that you would like, you have concerns with the deep lines, deep wrinkles and expression lines based on your profile. Okay, you're not saying she has that. She checked it off. You're like, well, let's see what it suggests. Okay, so when you open it up, it's going to say the suggestion here would be the time-wise repair value from deep wrinkle filler, where it fills in the line. Is that something you'd like to add to today's order? Would you like to get that? And it's her choice, right? But if she's checking it off, it's your job as a consultant to give the suggestion. And you could not know nothing about what these products are, but the fact that Mary Kay is already telling you this is the product for that specific concern, then you can make that suggestion, all right? So get excited that this little tool here is literally going to tell you all the products that are going to be suggested based on what she tells you is her concern. Okay. There's also areas of concern for the eyes, area concerns for the lips. Very exciting. Okay. Now, the one thing I do want to state is it does ask, what's your preferred foundation finish? Matte, natural, luminous, dewy. So they give you 3 choices there. I want you to be aware that even if they check off matte or one of these other ones, The only things you're going to show on the first party is the CC cream. Okay? So you're going to say, if they say, when you get to that, you say, when you're meeting with them, you say, now I realize that you would really like to try our matte. You'd really rather have a matte finish. Great. I'm making a note of that. And when we schedule that second appointment next, let's go ahead and we'll match you for our matte finish or our cream to powder foundation. Sound good? So you're kind of affirming to her that she's going to get to experience a matte finish at that second appointment. Okay? So after you're using this as a tool, you're now booking her for that second appointment. All right? So, and is there any reason why you wouldn't want to have a couple of your friends, because you've asked for referrals? That's part of the flip chart. You're going to go through the flip chart, and you've gotten referrals of friends that she knows that would be deserving of some pampering or fun. We sometimes will also use the Fabulous Sheet. This is a really fun game and tool that you can use with girls with their phones, and they can be writing down names and numbers of their friends that they want to nominate. Okay? So with that, you can say, hey, with that second appointment, when we're trying your matte foundation and some of these other, we can customize it. Is there any reason why you wouldn't want to have a few girlfriends join you so you can then earn some free product? That sounds good. And we can get you the rest of the things on your wish list. Or we can add in there the things that you're going to want more of additionally. All right. So now you get your date book out, and let's pick a date. I want to be clear when you're picking the date that it's okay for it to be tentative. In fact, I highly suggest that you book a tentative party. She will oftentimes they will say, well, I'm going to check with my friends and see what's a good date for her. At which point you say, awesome. So what I have found, and I use her name, so we'll just say this for Cheryl. Okay, so what I found, Cheryl, is you're going to check with your friends, and they're going to be so excited. You're going to say, and they're going to say, well, when is it? And I would just hate, because I have limited dates that I'm available, I would hate for you girls to pick a time that doesn't work for me. So let's you and I pencil in a date or two that will work for us. So then when you tell your friends, you can find out the one that's best for them. But just realize that you may find that we want to actually hold both of them, because there's going to be some girls that can come to one and others that come to the other. But if you decide you just want to pick one of the dates, that's fine with me too. Okay, so are you thinking? And if she goes, well, I kind of look at my calendar. Okay, so when you look at your calendar, do you believe it will be a weeknight or a weekend? Oh no, it definitely has to be a weekend, she'll say. Or oh, it definitely has to be a weeknight, because my weekends are whatever. Okay, she knows that much. Then you can narrow it down. Okay, well, I have availabilities on, were we talking the beginning of the week or the end of the week? So it's 2 yes choices. She says, end of the week. Okay. Let's see. I do have a Thursday night. Would Thursday night? Well, my kid's got soccer practice. Okay. Friday night? Yeah, actually Friday nights is one I think would be good. If you have availability for Fridays, then you're able to say, let's go ahead and pencil you down for this next Friday. And how does that sound? Does that next Friday work for you? Yes, it works for her. Excellent. When will you have a chance to check with your friends? Great. In the next 24 hours? How will you let me know? Do you want to text me, call me, whatever? She says, I'm going to text you. Okay, great. If I haven't heard from you by tonight at 10, is it all right if I touch base with you in the morning? Get the permission to follow up. Even though she says she's going to follow up with you and call you, oftentimes she doesn't. Things get busy. She forgets. Remember, it's your job to follow up, not hers. But you want to at least ask her, how would she like to let you know? And if she goes, will you call me? Or will you text me? Or please remind me? That is not a bad thing, okay? To be assertive in that. Because otherwise you get off, you get done with the thing, and you're like, oh, she's going to let me know. Well, unless she specifically said a day and a time she's going to let you know, and then you've said, you know, I know how busy life can get, and if by chance I haven't heard from you by this, would it be okay if I follow up with you? And I usually give them either later in that night, if I haven't heard from you by, if she says I'm going to call you at 5, okay, if I haven't heard from you by 8 o'clock, would it be all right if I reach out to you? Because that's when I do my follow-up calls, right? Good. Excellent. If she goes, no, I'll still follow up with you. Okay, I know you will. Great. I'll look forward to hearing from you. And you just affirm her, okay? Because I've had just about every conversation, but you don't want to be thinking in your head, oh, what happens if she doesn't call me? Or, oh, she's going to blow me off. You always want to assume the best, but prepare for taking hold of it and being professional. Okay, so after you book that party, then is that third question. This one is kind of right straightforward. What do you think about being part of the team and ordering the starter kit tonight? Because you will have shown her that it's only $100, but you get over $400 worth of products, supplies, training tools. Plus, I would just love to work with you and have you on my team. What do you think? You can say that. You can just, boom, what do you think about that? And regardless of how she answers, let's just say she says, yeah, let's do it. We just added 2 amazing new consultants because at the end of it, I had gone through and I'm like, well, what do you say we just get you started and order your starter kit and start your next steps for training? They said, yeah, let's do it. Boom. Okay. There's no reason why they can't. And when you use a flip chart, they will have seen the process and they will have seen how it does. And they can tell some women can make quick decisions. Even if you are someone that does not make quick decisions, and you're someone that likes to read about it and pray about it and all of these things that you need to do, don't think that everyone needs to do that. And I had to learn that because I was kind of a one and done. If they didn't sign up on the spot, on to the next. Because I'm a quick decision maker. But for someone else, that didn't mean that they weren't going to join. It just was going to take a little bit more patience on my part. And at the very beginning of my business, I have to say, I lost a lot of people in that element, not lose them as a customer, but lost out on, I think, girls that would have joined my team had I slowed up for them, vice versa. If you're a slow thinker and you're like, well, why don't I send you home with some stuff? And you don't ask her right then, or, well, do you need to think about it? Maybe you need to talk to your husband about it, or you start making up excuses for her. Oh yeah, maybe I do need to look into it more. Maybe I do need to watch that video. Well, let's just book a sharing appointment. And she's like ready to go. You've lost her. And you don't want to do that, okay? I'm not saying that you can't fix it, but at least ask. And if she's like, well, and she's kind of stone about it, then you can say, well, why don't we just meet for coffee? And I can share a little bit more that you need, that could answer some questions. And within 24 to 48 hours is ideal. Anything past that, they will oftentimes talk themselves out of it. They may have talked to somebody that has had a challenge, and they are just a little bit more susceptible to losing that excitement in the first place. So even if they say, I'm going to sign up on Friday, and it's Tuesday, that's too much time. I'll be honest with you. You really want to get her in contact with your director stat. Okay, within 24 hours. If she's excited, she needs to talk to somebody within 24 to 48 hours. And so you can say, oh, I'm so excited, you're excited. And I'm excited for you to get started on Friday or Saturday or whenever she said she's going to, if it's not right then. I know my director's going to want to chat with you. I can't wait for you to meet her. She's amazing. She's our business coach. You'll love her. Okay, talk the director up and then say, she's going to want to, I'm in part of my training is to do some of these sharing appointments for my Power Pearls. And would you allow us to give you a call? Could we schedule that? Or could we meet for coffee? If I send you a video, could you watch it and do a quick survey afterwards with me and my director as part of my training? And she's like, yeah, okay, within 24 hours. Within 24 hours, so great. So would tomorrow morning, afternoon, or evening be best? And even if you are super busy and she's super busy, just say it really only takes 15, 20 minutes. And the video is short too. You can watch it while you drive. You can watch it while you drive home from here and just listen to it, I should say, okay? Or they can prop it up or at a stop sign in between or as they're brushing their teeth. Like literally it doesn't take long. Okay, Can you sense the sense of urgency? You're getting the sale right then. You're asking for the sale. If she doesn't write it up and she's like, I got to think about it, I got to pray about it, I got to talk to my husband about it, you got to follow up with that, right? Same thing with the business, but you want to do it in a timely fashion. Okay. So I wanted to go over some of those closing questions and how I do each of those three things. A full circle party, what we would call a perfect party, is you had fun, you asked for the sale, and you showed her the set specials or whatever you've got for sets, which we show you that. You booked a second appointment for follow-up and to show her more products that maybe she didn't get yet, that she didn't yet experience. And you asked her to learn a little bit more about the business or join your team and/or. So you're asking her about that, and you're letting her know that you're helping our team share the heart of the company with 100 women. So even if it's not for her, it's 1 out of 5 say yes to the business. In all company perspective, it's 1 out of 5. So that means 4 girls, it's not going to be the right time for her right now. But 1 out of the 4, it is going to be the right time. And so it's our job to be okay with planting seeds so that we can reap a harvest and that they can then be blessed with this opportunity as well. So don't wait until you feel comfortable with it. Just start doing it right now so you can create the habit. All right? And I promise they will be thrilled to know how they're supporting you and when they do what they're supporting, right? You're never going to lose a customer if she decides it's not the business opportunity for her. You'll always gain a stronger customer for life. I promise. Okay, so in that, let me show you a couple other business tools that you want to be aware of. I want to say that I showed you, I might have shown you the weekly plan sheet, okay, already. And this again, you can print off on section 2. There's several features of that. This will, let me just say, when you do a weekly plan sheet, when I do a weekly plan sheet, I still do them for my family, and I post them on the refrigerator, and I highlight the boxes of when mom's working so that they know where I'm at. And I'll write which studio I'm at, or I'll write that mom's working. They need to see you working as a business. Your husband, your boyfriend, your parents, whoever you live with, they need to see when you're working. So you treat it like a job. You treat it like a career in a business. They will also. So when you say I have a mandatory meeting every Monday night, it's our team meeting, it's mandatory, they will know that every Monday night she's at her meeting, all right? They'll also, that will help you be accountable. They won't plan a dinner date because they know it's mandatory. They won't plan a birthday party and then you feel bad that you don't get to go to it. I'm telling you, you will be the one that will dictate how they treat your business based on when they see your business plan. You may not know all when your parties are, but if you will make a schedule of when you plan to book parties, even if you don't have a party yet booked, when it says, I'm booking a party, and you don't have a party on your books, you're doing income producing activities, which means phone calls, you're going out and lead generating, you are putting yourself out there to get appointments on your books. So then in that next week or the following, it shouldn't take you more than a week or 2 to get those dates filled for when you're going to book. Because I can meet someone today and book her for tomorrow. I've done it. I do it. I do it still to this day. If I have an opening on my calendar, I go meet someone and fill it. That's the ideal. Now, I shouldn't say I do that 99% of the time. But what I do is I hold true to that appointment. And if I don't have a party on that booking at that time, I make sure I get myself up. My family doesn't know that it canceled. They don't know that it rescheduled. They don't know that I'm not going to do that party. They see it on the calendar that mom's working. Therefore, I get dressed, I get cute, and I leave the house, even if that means I'm looking out over the water, making phone calls and booking calls, but I'm not home. I think that's the key thing about working this as a hobby or working it as a business, is you stay true. If you're going to give your time 4 hours a week, and 2 of those hours are at your weekly meeting, and then another 2 hours is on another night because that's when you're doing your parties, then you're treating it, okay? So I hope that helps. I wanted to just give you that suggestion because that had come up in the past. Also, if you are tired and you are busy and you've got going on, you are your own boss, but that is also one of the most challenging things. So you want to plan when you're taking time off. Don't just have it randomly happen. What I mean by that is if you start scheduling out and you realize, wow, I've got a really full schedule and maybe I overbooked myself, then make sure that you repair that the next week and give yourself maybe a little nap in the midday, or give yourself permission to go and read a book or do a walk. Like, you are in control of that. So just because you have it on a calendar, be aware of what you need. Also, eating and drinking lots of water and eating healthy is going to aid in your energy. And I'm speaking from experience here because I have found that I can, right after lunch, have this crash if I'm not eating the right foods at lunchtime, or if I don't eat lunch, if I skip it, or I'm not. So be sure that you fuel yourself with the things that are going to keep you, because you are the only one that is in control of your energy. And that also means energy that's coming into here through your visual and through your ears. So if you're listening to energy giving programs and music and things, or are you filling your brain with things that are sucking your energy and your power? And I just mean like social media. There's a lot of stuff in the world right now that is devastating and even frankly frightening and scary. We're waiting for tornadoes to hit or hurricanes. We're waiting with loved ones to hear if they're going to get hit with a storm in the next 48 hours. I mean, that is like, hello. Can you do anything for them right now? If you can't, turn it off. Focus. Show yourself that you can be a boss, because guess what? Mary Kay needs us to work when we can work, because there can come a day that we can't work. And right now, I'm going to tell you right now, we're getting ready to launch an amazing effort to help raise funds for some of our sister consultants and directors that are actively right this minute in the trenches of Hurricane Harvey. And I know I'm recording this right now, but Hurricane Harvey is in the record books for history now. And it doesn't matter what the natural disaster is and when things are going to happen. One of the things that we need to know is that we want our company to stay strong. And so they've called an alert for all of us that can work to please work, because there's a lot of people that can't work right now. And so to really feel that drive to say, okay, I'm hurting for them, but the best thing we can do is keep going. Then we use those efforts to then give back as well, because our company needs us to work, because there's a big chunk of them right now that they would if they could. They can't. And that's one of the reasons why this is such a powerful family force in Mary Kay, and we help them get going again. And that's why the company donates and all that stuff. But how awesome it is that we can say, well, we can work, so therefore we want to honor you with our work and our conscious effort to do it what we can, because we all need it. Okay, so in that, another business tool that often has helped me, and it will help you as well. I'm going to say that I believe this is under our files on our Facebook page. However, you want the most updated, and you can find the most updated on Mary Kay In Touch. And what it is it's a foundation conversion chart. So what this does is, first, it will tell you all the different foundations and powders and concealers that we use. And through the years, we've changed names, we've changed numbers, we've changed the word of them, but ultimately it comes down to matching and knowing, okay, if she's a very light CC cream, this is why it's the easiest to match with CC, because it puts a broad spectrum. It will match everyone from a foundation shade in an Ivory 1 all the way down to an Ivory 5. Once you get to an Ivory 5, you're in the light to medium CC cream. okay, which is where I'm at right now, light to medium. Woohoo, I went up a shade. But then, well, how does that convert into a sheer pressed powder, a concealer, our new correcting concealers, our mineral powder, okay, if they want a cream to powder, like, we need to know which number relates to which. It's not a one size. So this one's outdated because this has facial highlighting pen and concealer. We don't have those anymore. And so this, we throw it around. It's under Product Central, but it's a little tricky sometimes to find it. And so what you want to type into the search, I believe you want to type into it either foundation conversion chart or shade matching chart or something to that nature. There's one that we have under our unit Facebook page, which is Lori Hogue. She is a well-known makeup artist who has helped us in knowing a little bit more about our foundation. She works exclusively with Mary Kay, but I had found that one of her charts that I had looked up wasn't as up to date, and what she said was yellow undertone. She calls, in some of them, she'll say it's a golden undertone versus an orange undertone. I can't remember, but there was something that it threw us off when we were putting stickers on our foundations to know if it was a pink undertone, a yellow, an olive. O for olive or O for orange. And so my daughter thought that because it said olive, that it was O for orange because of the thing, instead of putting a green sticker on it. And we got messed up. Like, this is not an olive undertone. This is, like this is to be a pink under something else. I don't remember. But anyway, so you want to go through and find a current foundation chart, because at your parties, it's usually going to be your second appointment that you'll be matching her for maybe a different formula. But if you can narrow it down to, okay, well, she's a light to medium CC cream, and you can look under the light to medium, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 shades of the things that you'll want to then try. Okay. Same thing with very deep. Very deep. Sometimes we can get nervous if we're ivory skin tone and we're working with someone that is a darker beige or bronze skin tone. We're like, oh my gosh, there's 8 shades to choose from. But if you can narrow it down, then you can have 3 or 4 or 5. Usually it's like 3 or 4 shades to choose from. Okay. So I hope that can give you some homework to look up those shade charts and just print out. Well, that's the thing is it might be on my app, but I don't know if it's the most up to date. Right. So how you'll know if it's the most up to date, and again, we had it under files under the Facebook page under our unit files, but you can't delete past files. So what you need to do is go in and look at it and make sure that you see, when you look under concealers, this is probably the easiest way, is the concealers are going to say very light ivory, deep ivory, light beige, deep beige, light bronze, deep bronze. Those are the new concealer shades. If they say numbers under the concealers, that's the outdated chart, okay? Another one to know is just go to the CC cream and look to see if it says very deep, because we just added very deep in the last, 6 months, 4 months, we just added the very deep. So this Lori Hogue one is an updated one because it has very deep down here. But again, find it on Mary Kay, please, because Mary Kay In Touch, that's going to be the most up to date. And in addition to giving you the conversion of which product, it will also on page 2 tell you what their undertone is. whether it's pink, olive, you know, yellow undertone. And then you can label your products with little dots. And I just absolutely, I have that on most all of mine. And it just gives me a little bit more awareness if it's a pink undertone, a yellow undertone, and such. Okay? And that can just, okay, so that is your product knowledge for this segment and your tools. Okay. We talked about our individual clothes. I do want to show you what a filled out sales ticket looks like. There is no credit card information on here, but I want to show you this, and I would ask you what's missing. All right, I'm going to show you. So the one thing, now you don't have to have her address and phone number on there as long as you've collected it on here. This is a repeat customer that ordered a nice amount right here. Look at that, $214 reorder. 211 was the reorder. What's missing is the zip code, okay? You always put the zip code to where they live, okay, where they live. So I know she's Paulsbo. I got lazy, I didn't write it on there, 98370. So you want to make sure you put her zip code. That's for tax purposes, okay? At the end of the year, you will be required, as you start selling so much, okay, at first, but you just could have it to get in, is they will want you to know how much in each zip code that you have sold, okay? So when that happens, and when you're making enough to where they have you track that, then there could be little city taxes or different state taxes that go to those. But just know that you want to write the zip codes, okay? Right on here how I collected. So on this particular one, she did pay with a credit card. Now, if you have a swiper for ProPay, or you have an app and you added a number in there, you do not have to write the card number on here. You can just write processed and the date, which is what I'm going to do because she paid for it and I just wrote processed and the date. That way you know you're not waiting for payment. If there's a balance or you're waiting for payment, make a note of it on the invoice. And I would just write balance and I would highlight it, and then I'm going to put it in a folder or a basket or some little bin that keeps it separate from the rest so that you don't accidentally file it away and forget that she owes you, okay? When I'm owing a product to somebody, I will circle it, which means I owe her. And so here you'll see on here that I circled the toning lotion. Okay, right there, I circled it. I did deliver it to her like the next day or that day. And so then you can just put a check, just check it off, okay? You just want to put a description that you're going to know what the product is. You don't need to spell the whole thing out. And you also do want to pay attention to that it's a quantity. So I do write 1111 quantity, and you can abbreviate. So if it's time-wise, I just do a TW. If it's normal to dry formula, I just write N-D. If it's Commodore Oily, C-O for Commodore Oily. CC cream, I write CC cream, and then I write the shade, deep, or LTI for light ivory. So you'll kind of figure that out. When you're doing your totals, retail total is 194. Okay, 194. Oops, here we go, 194. The tax is on the retail value. If you're giving her a gift with purchase, or she's getting some kind of a discount, the discount, you're going to figure the tax on the regular retail. Don't add the two together and then take the discount off. Take the discount off of the subtotal, which is the retail value. So if I were to give her 10% off, I'm going to figure the tax on the 194, the full tax, which is $17.46. Okay? Then the 10% would be $19.40 because the total is 194. And so then I'm going to write minus 1940, but I'm going to add the full tax of 1746, and then the total is at that point. Okay. Why we do that is you want to collect the full tax of where the transaction's being taken. If you're in Oregon or you're shipping it to Oregon, and even if she's somebody that I'm going to take it off my shelf, I've already paid the full retail tax, but I'm going to go ahead and mail it to her from my inventory and not do a direct ship, which that's why I like direct ship. I just directly ship it to those that are in different states and stuff, because then they figure the tax out. It's way easier. You still want to show it, but nonetheless, then it's just considered unrecovered sales tax. If you're ever charging her less tax than what you paid, it's unrecovered sales tax. And that will be filled out on that WASP sheet, weekly accomplishment sheet. So there's a place that says, did you give any discounts? Was there any unrecovered sales tax? Then that's where you would put that. Okay? So it's okay if you just miss out on a little bit of tax deductions. That's it. So don't feel like literally, I think I've missed out on maybe a couple $100. But once you know how to track it, that's okay. It's okay. That's why we take legal tax deductions. But if you don't track it right, or you miss out on some of those, you're just missing out on a little bit of tax deduction. It's not all of it. You're not missing out on thousands of dollars, but it can add up to thousands if you don't get a handle on that and start today. Don't fret. Keep it simple, but that's why we go through and we start tracking it. We will be doing more trainings, a little bit more in depth on taxes and such. So I don't want girls to get all nervous about that. But the main thing is start tracking now. Okay? You do want to open up a separate checking account. I know it's going to be on that Boss Girl checklist. It's going to be way easier when taxes come to be able to have all your cash flow. Please, please, please don't embezzle and pay yourself from your money bag before it gets put into the checking account. You want all that paper going through there, because if you ever get audited, which I did get audited, and I was squeaky clean, I lived it, we were great, but it's a lot of paperwork to go back through and everything if you're not properly documented. That's why doing the weekly accomplishment sheet saves you oodles of work, and you always want to keep all of those. You keep them all, and so you'll have a binder. Just start a big old hole punch binder, and you just keep all your weekly accomplishment sheets, all your little invoices. If you're not doing paper, which I will never go away from paper because stuff can happen on computers and stuff, but you can create this through the My Customer and print it off that way. If you want to be printing invoices, which looks really professional, it looks all clean and everything, you can edit it and everything, then you just always want to keep and print one so that you have a hard copy as well, just in case something happens and glitches and it's gone. And then again, when you're documenting it on that weekly accomplishment sheet, that's your evidence as well as your printed invoice. Okay. Okay. Deep breath. And cleansing in. Cleansing out. These are the least favorite things for me to talk about. But I've had girls ask me, how do you fill out a sales ticket? I'm like, oh gosh, I have to share with them how to do it. But we like to have money, and we like you to keep the money too. We want you to be feeling smart about it. It was just like, yeah. Okay, so we'll talk more about booking from your bookings. We'll talk more on closing of the appointments and such. We did talk a little bit about that. But I want to end with this poem. And there's two of them that I'm going to share with you because, to me, these are some of the fun things that we get to share. And so these are two of my favorite. I was going to look and see if I had. Okay. I'm so excited to share. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I got it. It's in this one. Okay. So when you join, oftentimes we will give you a rose. Okay. If you are not local to me and you are Julie's Wild Dreamers and you did not receive your wooden rose, please notify our office and we will make sure that you get one, okay? But in the symbol, the symbol of Mary Kay is a rose, and I'm going to tell you why. And then, here we go. Okay, that's good. I get so excited about remembering that I have some of this stuff. Okay, so in that, here's why, this is what it means. And the day came when the risk to remain closed as a bud became more painful than the risk it took to blossom. Like the covenant of the rainbow, the rose has become a symbol in Mary Kay of faith, love, and caring humanity. Its color represents a positive quality of the giver. Its velvety texture represents the quality of the receiver. The green leaves represent the growth of your personal inner potential. The thorns represent challenges and obstacles to overcome. The stem represents the strength to remain constant in the pursuit of our high ideals. And the scent, why, of course, it's the sweet scent of success. And Mary Kay would always say she loved when women would come into the business, and the first time she'd meet them, she'd shake their hand, and they were just so nervous, and they're like, oh, and Mary Kay would look them in the eye and say, you can do this, you can do this. And she was so genuine to give that attentiveness. And then she'd see them maybe a month or two later, and they'd come running up to her, Mary Kay, you're never going to believe I did this, and this just is confidence, it just exuded, and she was so excited, and she realized that many times, like closed like a little tight bud, rosebud, you come in timid and shy and fearful and not sure if they can do it, and then through little wins, daily wins, little successes, and next they turn into big successes, you blossom. And that's why when you look at that starter kit and it says Mary Kay's famous quote, if just one more woman discovers how great she truly is, it will be a great day. That was her mission. And that's why the rose is that symbol. So every time you see a rose, you can know that as you stick with it and you stay with it and you grow and you develop and you press through those obstacles, even if you get pricked along the way and you get hurt or you get challenges, know that when you stay with it and just don't quit, you will just bloom and blossom. And Mary Kay is a safe place to grow and to fail forward to success, because we all make mistakes, and but we do it with that knowing that sweet scent of success is going to come. Okay, the last poem that I'm going to share with you, and then I'll share another one the next time, is called The Rock. There is a rock. It's by Peter Stohelic. Okay. There is a rock, a sturdy rock, to build a future on. A rock that's strong, a rock that stands as a firm foundation. There is a rock, a sturdy rock, to build a future on. A rock that's strong, a rock that stands as a firm foundation. A rock that can't be worn away by weather or by time. A rock as tall as any mountain, a rock that you can climb. To reach the heights you want to reach the stars beyond. A rock that stands as old as time, to build your dreams upon. There is a rock that's firm and strong. Through all that you may do, there is a rock. If you believe that rock is you. Isn't that good? I love that. So stay strong. Have an amazing rest of your week, and I look forward to being with you next week for our next boot camp. God bless.